The Ghana Mine Workers Local Union is asking the president to sack the managing director of the Precious Minerals Marketing Company, PMMC, with immediate effect. Dr. Kojo Opare-Hammond is being accused of procurement breaches and also terminating the contracts of some workers. They have threatened to deal with the MD if he comes to the offices today, and they have also petitioned the president, the chairman of the Mother Union, to also to deal with the issue. We have been speaking to the General Secretary of the association, who is in a person of Agnes Aite.
Why have you decided that you are not working today?
We have condoned irregularities for quite too long. Honorable Opare-Hammond came into this institution with his own management style, which is not helping the company. He is flouting the administrative processes. He handpicks and then he promotes. If you don't gossip to him, he doesn't promote you. Exorbitant board allowances. He has risen the board allowance to 729%, while he gives the staff 12% in a year. They have had 26 board meetings as at yesterday. From January to yesterday, they have had 26 board meetings, and he's flouting the procurement process. We want him out. We have petitioned the Mother Union. We have put him in the petition. There are so many things that we have found out. Now, we used to have 13 security people. Now we have 33 security personnel. Where he brought them from, and we were doing an investigation, and it looks like they are not even registered. We don't know how true that is, but we can still go into details with that. All the staff want him to do is to do, because it's not making the work a conducive place for us to live. He operates the office, he operates the work from his office. He works in his office. He has set the management staff aside. He doesn't work with anybody. So anything that he's doing out there, it is in the unknown of the management staff. And we want all this to cease. We want him to go. If you are not his darling.
Today,
the staff of PMMC have decided to put on red armbands because there are so many irregularities happening in our company, which is Precious Minerals Marketing Company, which the managing director is Honorable Kojo Opare-Hammond. He flouts administration procedures. He does what he wants he manages the company like it is his own. When you say he tells you that it is his own management style, he doesn't follow proper procurement procedures. They have risen board allowances to 729%. As from January to yesterday, the board has had 26 meetings from January to yesterday. Meanwhile, he gave the staff 12% increments this year. He doesn't follow proper administrative procedures. He employs at any given time. The truth is that as we stand, we don't even know the staff strength, because we don't know who is a staff and who is not. PMMC does license for gold buyers. Now, when you come to do license, they charge you 7,000 Ghana cedi, and the company gives you receipt on only 5,000. So the question is, where does the 2,000 go? The board allowances has been risen to 729%, whilst the staff take 12%. He has employed 33 security. See the small company, 33 security men. Meanwhile, we were managing with 13. He has brought his own security company, which is alleged that it is either his own or it's a friend's. And they are 33. They are just gallivanting in the premises like that. There are this and so many things. He wants to alterate the CA. That gives us free medical care, and there are end of service benefits and all that. As we talk to you, last year he slapped one of the auditors, one of our internal auditors, and he sacked the man to go home.
Well, very wild allegations, but the Precious Minerals Marketing Company, PMMC, is a state-owned enterprise. But what more do you know about it? Here's a little bit of information for you. All right, so we've been trying to get in touch with Dr. Kojo Opare-Hammond, but we understand currently they're in a meeting, and my colleague Norvan Akwahefor joins me live for an update. Norvan, what do we know at the moment?
Okay, just as you said, they're currently in a meeting at the TUC, that is the Ghana-Mine Workers Union Secretariat, in the TUC building. Okay. I understand that Kojo Opare-Hammond himself is at the meeting with some other officials, and the leadership of the union are in talks with him. If you recall, in the afternoon, when we came on air on Marketplace, we did indicate that there was supposed to be a meeting, and after that meeting, the union probably will think of the next thing they are going to do. And so we are hoping that this meeting will be over, and then we'll see what we'll gather out of the meeting.
Couldn't they have held this meeting before we got to where we got today?
I think that initially there was a letter, according to the union, that they sent to the managing director, that is Kojo Opare-Hammond, and he indicated that he wasn't around, and when he came back he said he wanted his lawyers to rather engage the union in his presence. And so they were waiting for that meeting to come on. That is on the 9th. That was the date for the meeting that was agreed to initially. But when the workers or staff of PMMC today decided to demonstrate and said they were not going to work again, I think it became important that, you know, the two came quickly to sit and then see how they could resolve the issue.
They made very wild allegations. How long has this thing been going on to what we saw today?
These kind of allegations, it's difficult to tell how long it's been going on, but I mean, he's been there just barely a year and some months. You know, when the NPP government took over, that was when he was appointed and then he took over the PMMC. So if within this short time, these are the kind of allegations that the staff are raising, we haven't verified almost all the allegations they have. But what we understand from Kojo Opare-Hammond is that whatever they are saying is not true, because I remember speaking to him on the phone and he said he has cordial relationship with his staff. So he's taken aback as to, you know, the kind of allegations that they are throwing at him.
So what will be the impact of the outcome of this meeting? Are we hoping to resolve the issue, or, well, we don't know what is being said, but do you think that they'll be able to come to an amicable resolution of the issue?
That's what we are hoping should be, but if they are unable, as the General Secretary of the Union, Prince William Ankara, did indicate to me this afternoon, they may escalate issues.
All right, thank you very much, Norvan Akwahefor. He's been giving us an update on what is currently happening. We understand that Dr. Opare-Hammond is in a meeting with the aggrieved staff. We go for a short commercial break. We'll be back on Business Live. Welcome back, and to our main story for tonight. President Akufo-Addo has urged banks to reduce their lending rate to complement government's effort to maintain fiscal discipline. He said such a move by the banks would help create a more stable microeconomic framework in the country and also give substantial complement to the vision of making Ghana a globally competitive economy. But is his call out of place, and are the banks intentionally holding the rates high? My colleague Philip Namfuri is here for an explanation. Hello, Philip. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Sandra.
How are we doing when it comes to the rates?
Okay, so according to the Bank of Ghana, there's some data they put out in September, and it says average lending rates in the economy at 27% as of August 2018. If you look at last year, August 2017, they were about 29%. So if you look at over a 1 year period, it's come down by about 2%. Some will say interest rates are still high because this is an average. And just from your introduction, the president's call is not out of place.
It's not, right?
Yes, the high lending rates have contributed to non-performing loans in the country, but it's a cycle.
I was going to ask what has contributed to this high lending rates.
Okay, so there are a number of factors, or a multiplicity of factors. A bank is running a business. It has operational costs. It goes out there to mobilize funds, deposits. There are costs involved. When a bank comes and promises you 22% on your investment, it means that they're going to lend to somebody at a correspondingly higher rate. If they have non-performing loans, they're going to factor it into their lending rate, and it's all going to affect the rates of the banks.
I think we have some figures. Can you take us through the figures when it comes to the lending rates?
Okay, sure. So if you look at the average lending rates, like I said, in August 2017 was 29.8%. It's come down to 29.3% in September, and now as we speak, it's at 27%. The Bank of Ghana introduced what they call the Ghana reference rate, so that over a course of time, we'll have interest rates that will reflect changes in the economy.
Okay.
It was introduced in April 2017, but it's going to take some time for it. Sorry, I beg your pardon. April 2018. It's going to take some time for it to really kick in effect. Right now, it's at 16.1%.
Which is still high, right?
That's the reference rate. So the banks are supposed to look at that rate and then add a risk premium to what they are going to give you. So it's at 16.1 as at August. When I checked on the Ghana Association of Bankers website, it was at 16.14.
Right, so, Philip. So why the wide difference between the rates on deposits and then the rates on lending? We spoke about this before.
Yes. If you look at what we have again, you look at the time deposits. That's if you go and place your money in the bank for 6 months.
Right.
It's at 10.5% as at August 2018. Last year, it was at 16.5%, which means that now, if you go to a bank, on the average, this is what they're going to get on your funds, 10.5%. But if you look at the difference between the lending rate and how much are you going to place, it's still high. There's a backlog of bad loans, high cost of operations and stuff that the banks still factor into their lending or into their loans.
So what can be done to bring the lending rates down?
Well, one is the Ghana reference rate.
Okay.
But then when I spoke to bankers off the record, it's not going to have an effect immediately. It will take some time before we'll have this. And also, the macroeconomy, inflation, etc., should be stable over a long period for it to really translate.
Thank you very much. Grateful having you as always on Business Live. And now to other stories. And over 100 German investors are currently in the country for the German-Ghana Forum to explore business avenues with the Ghanaian business community. The forum, which complements the G20 Compact with Africa, is expected to deepen economic ties amongst the two nations, especially in the automobile industry, where Ghana currently imports about $150 million worth of cars and spare parts from Germany yearly.
According to the Finance Minister, Ken Oforiatta, the forum places Ghana on a good radar to attract investors considering the country's macroeconomic prospects.
Really, I mean, what we are seeing is a certain clarity with regards to the Compact of Africa and how Germany is looking at interventions to make sure that we sustain the type of progress that we have made. I mean, on creating Ghana as a true business hub for us to be a regional center on macroeconomic stability and fiscal consolidation, and now the gap between our investment needs and our savings capacity. How do you cascade in private sector investment for us to be?
All right, that's all for Business Live tonight. Thanks so much for watching. And for more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Sandra Isanamapan. Have a good evening.